British colonists in the Americas have a couple of different means of trying to push back against having taxes imposed without their consent. And probably the biggest of these is boycotting products. And what that means is not buying them, right? And if you don't buy a product, there isn't any tax on it because it isn't sold, which means there's a whole lot of effort taken in getting that product there and then no return. But this boycotting actually leads to a lot of organization among the colonies. Things called committees of correspondence develop. And these committees of correspondence basically send individuals to figure out where people are buying British goods and where people aren't. Where people are buying them, they try and encourage them to stop buying them. Sometimes they force them not to. They out their names. They create a lot of peer pressure. These committees, like, for example, the Maryland Committee of Correspondence, ends up playing very vital roles in the American Revolution. It's this Maryland Committee that sets up the First Continental Congress, which leads to the drafting of the Declaration of Independence, and real clear organized response to British presence in the Americas. Well, before the American Revolution, what we can see then is that, one, in many ways, these American colonists don't see themselves as British, which a generation or two before, people clearly would have. They're developing a distinct sense of identity. They see themselves as something other than British. And also, these committees of correspondence are but one of many different examples of ways that these American colonists are organizing themselves. They are basically creating their own types of governments. They're keeping an eye on each other. And all of these things begin to kind of push them away from a British government that, in their eyes, doesn't take them into account and doesn't see them as equal citizens as people in England are.